Hi everyone. This is Maggie Ostara, and we have a sacral session for generators and manifesting generators and those who love them today to help understand awakening and listening to the sacral response. Start out just by asking you, have you been practicing with using your sacral before? Is this something new to you, or is it something you've practiced?
It's something that I'm very aware of. It's something that I have practiced. It's something that I'm not in the practice of practicing every single time.
Uh-huh.
And when I don't, I feel the misalignment and the frustration.
Interesting.
So just being reminded that that is always available.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely spend a lot of time up here. I know how to get down here. So it's just a reminder that that's the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
piece is the starting point.
Okay. And I do want to say it is fine to do research and it's fine to analyze things. It's not like we want to throw that out, right? What we can do with our left brains and our logic is important, right? And is part of the equation when we're making decisions. What is something, a topic that you would like to work with today?
Perfect. So what's been coming up for me is that I've been in my business now a year and a half. Probably the first almost half of that has been getting things up and running, et cetera. So
Okay.
I feel like I keep toggling between these different ideas and not setting on something of who it is that I want to serve. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's causing some confusion for myself and switching around. So I would like to have a better understanding of my human design, of how to really dig into that and drop into that
Mm-hmm.
so that I can use that to my advantage instead of trying to figure it out.
Okay. Totally, I hear you. So the main thing is thinking about who your people are, who you want to
Yes.
serve. That's the main thing. So what are your options? And I'm just going to start my timer here for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, okay. So what are your options that you're
So
considering?
my options are mirror versions of myself.
Okay.
Somebody in the corporate, because I was in the corporate world for a long time. Somebody that's in the corporate world that is in very masculine doing, proving, achieving,
Okay.
matching the masculine energy of the corporate environment,
Okay.
um, and doing that at some sort of detriment to themselves, either burnout,
Okay.
fatigue, poor relationships outside of work, things of that
Okay.
nature. There's a trade-off, and
Okay.
they're not quite sure. They're just having symptoms of it right now.
Okay. Okay.
But somebody that's starting to ask questions like, is this it? Is this what this is about?
Yeah.
Because I can't keep this pace up much longer.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
So
So that's one. Okay.
that's one. The other would be any woman that could be an entrepreneur or a corporate person that is they're starting to become awake, but they're still doing everything from their masculine energy
Okay.
in creating whatever it is in the world that they've come to create. And in both scenarios, they're neglecting their feminine gifts,
Okay.
intuition, collaboration. They're doing everything themselves, things of that nature.
Okay.
And then there in both, there's also is there an age group?
Okay.
Is there an age group? I'm 53, and I was in the corporate world in that realm. And I've had some experiences where I've been with the 20-year-old group that doesn't seem to be resonating. I think it's like, oh, that's cool, but they're not ready to jump in all the way.
Okay. Okay.
So
All
those are
right.
some of the ideas that
All
I
right.
keep going back and forth with.
Okay, great. So I'm going to just ask, I'm going to start out by asking you some yes, no questions to kind of get us warmed up. Okay. Do you know are you comfortable with uh-huh?
I'm yes, no.
You're a yes, no? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And do you find that that's because it is too fast for you to say uh-huh?
I don't know if it's because of that. When I started tuning more into my intuition, I had a feeling of, and it changes, of checking in, of identifying where's my energy of a yes, is it in my left hand or my right hand? And then envisioning a ball of energy when I ask questions, is this a yes or a no? And feeling the yes or the no.
Okay, so that's a different technique. That's not what we're doing.
Yes,
Okay.
right. So I
So
think that's why the yes or the no comes in.
okay. Well, what I'd like to recommend is that you try the
Okay.
and let's see how it goes. I mean, you do have the 3420, don't you? I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah. But I would like you to try it because the sacral is nonverbal in that way, right? The
Okay.
sacral is nonverbal. And so it's very kind of primal that way. It's like, And for some people who it's because of the speed that it comes out in a different sound.
Okay.
Okay, but that's the reason, is because of the speed. Otherwise, if we use language, we're actually using a different part of our brain.
Mm,
Okay, does that make sense?
yes.
Yeah, because part of the brain is verbal, part of the brain is not verbal.
Perfect.
Okay, so we want to try to get into that part that is not as verbal, if possible. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to ask you some questions, which may feel more or less, may not feel completely relevant to what we're talking about right now. We're going to get started. Okay. All right. So, are you in a white room right now?
No. Oh. Uh-uh.
Okay. Are you wearing a yellow shirt?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And do you like where you live?
Uh-huh.
And do you like chocolate?
Uh-huh.
And are you planning on moving anytime soon?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Are you looking forward to the holidays?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Are there some challenges for you around the holidays?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Are you willing to be kind to yourself during the holidays?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Willing to give yourself the space that you need to be able to make this time work for you in whatever
Uh-huh.
way that is?
Uh-huh.
And are you able to create appropriate boundaries when you need to during the
Uh-huh.
holidays? Okay, good. And be able to nourish yourself in the right way during the holidays.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Have you had challenges with that in the past?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, okay. So, are you excited about your business?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And are you feeling confident about the solution that you're providing for people?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So not yet confident about the solution.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No.
And is that because you're not sure who the solution is for exactly?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you're wanting to be able to tune in to who is your right person?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, who your tribe is.
Uh-huh.
And have you heard of this distinction between looking at your like your ideal client versus your tribe?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So I'm just going to throw this in there for you because sometimes people get trained around, and I don't know what Darla's doing, but sometimes people get trained about picking one person. But then there's also kind of like the tribe of people. And they're not exactly the same. Does that make sense to you?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's also just something for you to consider as we're
Uh-huh.
going forward with this, right? And also just as you go forward in your business. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, are you drawn to working with women who have a corporate background?
Uh-huh.
And are you feeling Does it make you feel more confident to work with those women because it's a similar
Uh-huh.
experience to what you had?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you feeling locked in any way by wanting to work with women who are in corporate?
Uh-huh.
Does that make you feel a little like squeezed somehow?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so there's a kind of discomfort for with that.
Uh-uh.
Okay. And so would it be right for you to work with just any woman who is working with her masculine energy? You popped up in your head. Okay, take a breath. Let's go back down in your body. Okay, good. Okay.
It came in as a uh-uh, and then the thought was working with a corporate woman that's in corporate or has been in corporate. That came up really quick.
Great. Okay, so that's a way that your sacral and your intuition can work together. Isn't that great?
So
Yeah.
that's why when it popped up, I was like, oh, I got to think of how to answer that. But the
Yeah.
thing came through.
Okay. So, all right. So let's go with that. So, would it be best for you to work with women um, either are currently in corporate or have a corporate background?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And is that because you feel that you understand them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
your life experience is part of what's going to make you an expert to help these particular women.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so if you were to work with a woman who, like, for example, was a mom, a full-time mom, and had been a full-time mom. Okay. What
Uh-uh.
about a woman who has an entrepreneurial background? Uh-uh.
Uh, not completely. Uh-uh.
Okay. Okay. Good. So you're getting some clarity here.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. So then it sounds like it would, let me just ask it again and see what happens. So, would it be right for you to work with just any woman who is stuck in her masculine energy?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So for focusing your business, it would be best for you to focus on a woman who is either in corporate or has a corporate background.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. Would it be better
Super.
to focus on a woman who's still in corporate?
I'm not getting a response.
Okay. Great. So, would it be better for you to work with a woman who is no longer in corporate but has a corporate background?
I'm not getting a response on either one of those.
Okay. So either a woman who has a corporate background or is currently in corporate would be right for you.
Uh-huh. Super
Okay.
strong. Uh-huh.
Okay, great. So you see how you're just sorting it out and breaking things up and saying, okay, is it this? Is it that? How does it work? Right? How does it feel? Right? Do you feel like you're getting clarity here?
Uh-huh.
And how does this clarity, does the clarity feel good to you?
Uh-huh.
Does it feel right on?
Uh-huh.
Do you have any resistance to focusing in this way?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So did you have resistance in the past?
Well, that was what I was going to say is in the past when I was trying to figure it out, I felt frustrated and tight and versus this, it's like, oh, this is easy and free and
Mm-hmm.
comfortable.
Yeah, you seem very clear at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So is it the right time for you to make a firm decision that this is the type of woman that you want
Uh-huh.
to work with? Do you feel confident about moving forward with this focus now?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Okay. I think we're done.
Uh-huh.
Anything else related to that you're concerned about?
I think the only other piece that was coming in then would be the avenues that I would serve them. Um, I have several different avenues, and I keep getting the tinge on speaking gigs and getting in front of people.
Okay. So would it be right for you to reach these women through speaking?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, will you be able to find them that way is through speaking?
Uh-huh.
So, and are you going to feel confident in your ability to communicate through
Uh-huh.
speaking?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I think you got a pretty strong yes there.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, Wendy, good job.
I love the uh-huh.
Okay, good. Yeah, so use that. Use it if as long as it's not doesn't if, as long as your body isn't trying to give you a different sound, then use that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so much better than the yes no because it totally went into the sound. So
Yeah,
thank you for that.
you're very welcome. Thank you, Wendy.